Hello there, how's it going? My name is Adam. Welcome to A Duda Reviews. This episode is going to be about Rick and Morty, episode 5, season 4. This is the last episode for this year, in this current run, until next year when we get the rest of this season, which I believe is about 5 episodes as well. So we're going to get 10 episodes in all. Well done, that's my maths. So, without further ado, let's review the fucking episode, shall we? So the episode begins with Jerry hanging some Christmas lights. He's struggling a little bit and Rick offers him some assistance using some tech. Jerry refuses and says no because he doesn't want to be reliant on Rick at all and wants to make sure that he can do it for himself and prove that he's not useless as he always is in every other episode. But Rick decides to help anyway using a ray gun. He zaps him and makes his body lighter than air and his shoes heavier than air, so he kind of just floats and bounces up and down, which Jerry loves, and he can hang the Christmas lights up and he loves it. Later on, Rick and Morty are in space in their spaceship, doing their space shit as they do. They get a flat tire. How you get a flat tire in a spaceship, who knows, but Rick gets out of the spaceship to sort the flat tire out. Morty wants to come outside with him, but Rick says no, stay there. Morty ignores him, gets out of the spaceship and proceeds to get bitten by a space snake that just happened to be floating along and poisons him really pretty badly. So Morty's dying and he needs assistance really quick, so Rick has to generate an antidote, and he gets this antidote from discovering that the snake had a whole planet of snakes and a whole snake civilization, and he manages to save Morty's life. Meanwhile, Jerry loses a shoe while showing off on a basketball court and ends up floating off into the sky. Morty feels guilty about setting the snake civilization space exploration back, so purchases himself a pet snake called Slippy from the pet store, dresses it up in the space suit that the other snake was in, and sends it back down to the space planet. So the snake government organization, secret organization or whatever, start to run tests on this space snake that's come down. I think they discover that it's not actually the original snake that was like the Buzz Aldrin of their snake society, by the hissing sound or something like that, because they run tests on that. Anyway, there's also a weird, like, uncomfortable looking snake sex scene, which is really uncomfortable viewing as well. Meanwhile, Rick and Beth are still searching for Jerry, who's floating off into the sky somewhere. He gets through to him on a cell phone, but Jerry, being stubborn and stupid, still refuses Rick's help and decides to lower his trajectory by filling his pants with rainwater. Morty's having some alone time when all of a sudden some snakes appear out of nowhere like a thin air and start shooting at him. They're like Terminator snakes, basically. Him messing with the snake civilization fucked up the snake's evolution, and some sort of weird robot snake war happened in the future, Terminator style, and they're sent back to destroy Morty, and all this weird shit happens. All because Morty got bit by a snake and decided to fuck around. Rick and Morty kill many snakes. They're all fucking killing snakes left and right. A future Rick and Morty suddenly appear with snake suits, and the other Morty from the future has a black eye, which you find out at the end why he has that black eye. The future Rick and Morty give present day Rick and Morty these snake suits and a time travel machine and send them back to Snake 1985. They go back to Snake 1985 with a book on how to create time travel, and they leave it in Snake 1985 so that basically the snakes can discover time travel earlier and eliminate Rick and Morty's involvement in the whole fucked up story, basically. So weird, stupid shit happens, as you can imagine. The snakes from 1985 go back in time to Abraham Lincoln time and stop him from getting assassinated. Go back to another alternate 1985, Snake 1985, and it's basically Nazi snakes everywhere, just like in the first episode. And it's really fucked up and stupid. Loads of crazy snake time travel shit happens, and they end up killing Snake Hitler. There are time cops from an earlier season, which I can't remember which season it was. I think it was season 2, possibly, where the time cops are in. They find out about these time traveling snakes, go to caveman snake time and beat the shit out of this caveman snake. And this somehow aligns everything so that all the snakes disappear and eat themselves into this sort of weird time paradox happens, and all the snakes disappear basically, and the whole time shit just ends. So with the snakes all dead and everything, Rick is still pretty pissed off that the whole thing has occurred and denies Morty a trip to Boob World. So yeah, and Morty's pretty upset about this, as you understandably would be, because it's Boob World. Jerry managed to survive, although he did kill a plane full of people in the process, but hey, he got to put up his Christmas lights in the end, and he did it all by himself. Go Jerry.
Jerry, like, yeah, we going at it, we going.
At the end of the episode, at the end of the credits and everything, we find out that Morty got his black eye from Rick punching him in the face because he's pissed off with the whole episode, basically. And that's it. That's the end of this half of the season. So it was an okay episode. It was funny, but nothing seemed to top that first episode of season 5 that came out, which I really loved. That was a really good one, and it sort of steadily middled out from there. But overall, I would give this episode a C, I believe, because it was funny, but it wasn't like hilariously brilliant. This season overall so far, these first 5 episodes haven't been my favourite. Season 3 is still my favourite, but overall, it's good shit. It's still funny. Love to have a good laugh. Who the fuck doesn't? So that's it. That's these 5 episodes done, and the next 5, when they come out, I'll probably continue to do them because I enjoy doing these. These are some fun stuff because I like watching Rick and Morty and talking about it. Yeah, so that's it. So I will see you whenever the fuck I see you next. Merry Christmas and all that shit. Please like and subscribe and listen to a bit of snake jazz. Why not?
Tonight. You love it? It's snake jazz.